today's test flights. One of them was to set up a automatic launch, a loiter, a circle of 10 waypoints, another loiter, and a return to launch. This is kind of what it looks like on the screen as far as the stuff in the programming or whatever. You can see you have a takeoff, loiter time is 60. These are automatically generated. 10 waypoints here for a circle, and the distance. This is also going to be 3 meters in altitude until it hits this return to launch. We'll talk about that then. So it's going to take off, loiter for 60 seconds after takeoff, go through a circle of 10 waypoints, loiter again for 60 seconds, and then return to launch and land and unarm. Let's see how that works. Before I start the sequence, I'd like to say that when I flipped I armed the quad and then I flipped the switch for auto mode. Had the throttle a little higher than I may have liked because it just scared the daylights out of me because it really just jumped up in the air. Then during the circle, there's 2 wires in the back for the trailer who's on vacation right now, but there's normally a trailer there. And I got really close to those wires, but sometimes you just have to trust. And basically, it took off by itself. It loitered for 60 seconds. You can hear it lean into all 10 of the waypoints in the 20-foot circle. Whatever I set. And then it loiters again at the end for 60 seconds and then goes back to home, orients itself to where it was when it took off, and starts landing, going down at 30 centimeters per second. And once it's detected that it's no movement has taken place for 2 seconds, it goes ahead and disarms and shuts down. So the only thing I actually did here was arm the copter and then flip the switch for auto mode, and then stood back and kind of took a few deep breaths there a couple of times. There's also a telephone pole in the backyard. Anyway, let's see what it actually looks like while it's happening. Okay, I arm it and then flip the auto switch. Jumped up, scared the daylights out of me. It's going to situate itself at the takeoff altitude of 3 meters and then start a 60-second countdown to go to the first waypoint. It will turn, leave this area, and go, and you can count waypoints. And here it kind of lean into it. And here comes that wire. And I also know there's a string between the 2, but I just had trust. And 10, and now we're going to go get a nearby waypoint here and hang out for another 60 seconds. At the end of that 60 seconds, it's going to do a return to launch, which I've also got set up as a auto land. Instead of, it can just go in loiter over the launch place, or it can go ahead and land. I set it to land. So it's actually going to raise up in altitude right here in a second when that 60-second loiter runs out to do a normal return to launch. And of course, like I said, the additional automatic land. Here she goes. It's over, so it starts a 30 centimeter per second descent. When there's no descent for 2 seconds, it will shut off and disarm. Actually, it disarms and then shuts off, doesn't it? Enjoy.